What's going on? We're back with another one. It's been a little bit, but you know how I go here. Been paying attention to the shorts or reels, whatever I've been putting up. Sort of just all over the place between the comic projects, fan art. Just a matter of focusing on, or just trying to find one thing to focus on. It could be any and everything. But for today, it's more like I wanted to focus on one of my characters that I've been writing about, thinking about in my novel, but I haven't particularly drawn them. And that's Athena, but also Minerva, who I've drawn on this channel before, but it was more like a little speed paint. Wasn't really too much thought into the design, if you know what I mean. And with what I've done with these two, in the beginning, these first three figures are just Athena in different stages of her life. When she first popped out of Zeus' head, she was like just a little child, but already full of attitude, and I can do this, I can do that. Basically, one of his favorite children, at least in my universe. And then the second, a little bit more knowledgeable things that she wants to do, and more knowledgeable, but every so often she would have to go out and fight her father's enemies, because that's just the type of man he is, and she can't say no to him, because not only is that her father, but that's the emperor. That's Zeus. And then the one at the end, fully into her godhood, the Athena that most of the Olympians know, at least who she appears to be. And then beside her, it's not really her, but it's so, I don't want to get too much away, but what ends up killing her, in a sense, that being Minerva. Athena detested war. She only did what she had to for her father's sake and for the sake of the empire. But eventually, after so many eons, you just get tired of it. And eventually, there was this one occupation where she couldn't handle it no more. The cruelty, all of it. And with the help of her brother Ares, she made a way to at least have some survivors. But in doing so, it would see her death and the birth of this rebellious leader, Minerva. And with Minerva, things would start to change. There would be a new enemy for Olympus, a new enemy for Zeus in particular. Not only did this Minerva take one of his favorite children from him, but also is a constant annoyance and nuisance, and he just can't seem to catch her. No matter how many times he tries, no matter how many godlings he sends after her, Minerva's just one step ahead every time, existing as a front to his will. Eventually that day will come when Minerva and Zeus come face to face, and all the Olympian children that he scorned, as well as his enemies that he's built over the eons, the Titans, the Blooded, his own family, and the other gods from other pantheons. But that's just the way it goes. Dictators can't be dictators forever. All kings fall in the end, and the cruel ones eventually get what they deserve. At least that's how I'm rating it. It's just a matter of how it'll be done and who's gonna strike the killing blow. But if you know me and you know my story so far, you know it's never that simple. As much good as there is, there must also be bad. You could not have too much of a good thing. Eventually, something will be taken from you, either right there, in the moment, when you're exacting retribution, or later on down the line. But yeah, this is Athena and Minerva. Two sides of the same coin. At least in the manner of speaking. But this is a nice little distraction. And for a color palette, I took some inspiration from a website that's called Colors, COLOORS, where you can just get random color palettes. And I usually use that for just inspiration. I tweak it here and there, but we're near the end of this one. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.